Hello my soul interns, welcome to the Utsukushi Grim channel. You can call me Grim, and last time we met our Romeda Region starters, Vino, Rebos, and Elisplash. If you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check it out to follow the story of Pokemon Entity, and to pick your starter Pokemon. After receiving your starter from Professor Tupelo, it's time to head home. But Milky, your sibling from another world, calls to you after receiving her own starter Pokemon as well.
Hey, can we do the Pokemon battle thing? The thing the professor talked about before.
As said in last video, Professor Tupelo introduced trainers and battling to the Romeda region. Pokemon battles have grown in popularity in the last decade or so since the professor appeared in Romeda, and the region has seen significant growth of harmony amongst the people and Pokemon here. While there's still hostility with some Pokemon from before and after what happened a decade ago, which will be explained in a different video, the bonds between Pokemon, the people of Romeda, and those of the other world have gone stronger. You accept Milky's challenge, and you win your very first Pokemon battle, leaving Milky in defeat. She usually has a timid expression, but now you see the concerned frown she had during breakfast. Milky suddenly runs off towards Bolide Hill, a hill beside Mushi Town. You and the professor both notice that she also left her starter Pokemon behind. Kid, I understand the struggle, and if she's who I think she is, there's strength in her. The power to bond with people and Pokemon. She just needs a push in the right direction. From your little scuffle here, I can tell you have that same strength. Perhaps as her sibling, you can convince her that the journey she wishes to embark on is worth doing. Go give her little partner Pokemon back to her and hear her out. I wish you luck in your journey, kid. Dokuro! You follow the words of Professor Tupelo, wishing to help Milky, but left slightly confused. Professor Tupelo also gave you a written note with instructions to only open it after Milky makes her decision. You hike up the intertwining pathways of Bolide Hill, meeting Milky at the top. You both stare at the evening sky, with stars starting to show themselves for the night.
Have you ever wondered what's beyond the stars? My home, my real home, it's out there. I know the professor and I aren't from here. Why doesn't he want to find out more about us? Us from the other world. I know you're my family. I love you and Mom. But I need to know. I have to go home. To my real family.
You hold Milky's hand, and her partner Pokemon snuggles her ankles. You both sympathize with Milky's struggle and offer to help her with this journey. Milky hugs you and retrieves her precious partner Pokemon. You both open the professor's letter, and it tells you to head toward Doki Town to meet Mr. Ueba, a Pokemon battle instructor, and to let him know it's time to hand over the goods. You don't know what this means, but it's the only lead to follow. You and Milky both decide to head over to Doki Town, passing by some new Pokemon from the Cluster Woods, a small forest between Mushi Town and Doki Town. Let's meet some of these Pokemon found in the Cluster Woods. The Romeda region's regional rodent, regional bug, and regional bird. Since this region has no specific location of reference, I kinda went with what seemed weird or something that would be in relation to the lore of Pokemon Entity. Our regional rodent is one of these Pokemon. The regional rodent was supposed to be based on a lemming, which in popular misconceptions like to jump off cliffs together in large packs. So I took the huge grouping aspect and made it part of their lore. Originally, I did want them to just explode together, but I decided that the baby form would be more of an aggressive cute, with its head shaped like a bomb. Let's meet Bomini, the tiny fierce Pokemon, with its name coming from bomb and mini. Bomini produce hissing noise to mimic bombs. They gather in large groups, scaring off potential threats, but they are actually harmless. Bomini will be a pure normal type with the abilities Gluttony and Cheek Pouch, and the hidden ability Thick Fat. As said before, Romeda's history will be dived into a different video. But Bomini have become very skittish and aggressive Pokemon because of what happened, and in reality, they are frail and not a threat. So the region decided it would be best to protect them in the Cluster Woods where they originate from. Their care is mostly seen over Doki Town's guardian, Mr. Ueba, and its shiny form is also a reference to Bomb Chews from Zelda. For Bomini's evolution, I went further with the danger aspect beyond its bomb-shaped head. I made it so it uses forest berries as bombs, and it literally has bullet seed. The seeds on its chest is meant to resemble a bandolier, and the fur pattern is meant to be like a bomb squad bomb suit. Let's meet Bodoom, the big boom Pokemon, with his name coming from bomb and a boom. Unlike Bomini, Bodoom's hostility is dangerous. They use fruits and seeds as explosives or projectiles and have attacked people. Bodoom will be a pure normal type with the abilities Gluttony and Cheek Pouch like Bomini, but its hidden ability will change to Aftermath. So while Bomini is protected in the cluster woods, the region recommends to not evolve them because of the potential danger. When wild Bomini do evolve, the town guardian, Mr. Weber, will send these Bodooms to a different area of the region where they specialize in taking care of Pokemon like Badoom. They are not evil, they're just aggressively protecting themselves. So if you see a Badoom, follow what the professor says in his notes. Proceed with caution. Let's move on to our regional bug in the cluster woods. For our original bug, I definitely wanted to use a spider or spider-like insect for our reference for the creepy alien vibe since we're in ultra space. And I found this cute little thing, the Metagreen bicolumnata, aka the bunny harvestman. I thought I could expand with the bunny aspect by making it an Easter bunny harvestman, and their round bodies can be designed like an Easter egg. So rather than the real insect's black body, our original bug is mainly white in color. Meet Harvest, the decoration Pokemon, with its name coming from hare like a rabbit and harvest from harvestman. The patterns on Harvest are painted on by harvesters. They enjoy playing hide and seek even though their bright coloration makes them very easy to find. This Pokemon will be a bug and fairy type with the ability Compound Eyes and the hidden ability Color Change, referencing how you can decorate Easter eggs however you want. A fun fact about Harvest is that it's the first Pokemon I ever made in 3D. For Harvest's evolution, I wanted to give its gangly arachnic legs back for the buggy creepy vibe, and I made its face just a slightly more sinister, but like the previous evolutions, they just be happy little babies. This one also has a cute little bunny tail just to expand more on the bunny aspect, since these little bugs like to hop around making webs. They also have short little legs underneath their bodies, but they don't really use them often. They mostly use their two front longer legs as hands. Meet Harvester, the decorating Pokemon, with its name coming from hare and harvester. With berry juice and enzymes, Harvesters produce a colorful paint-like web to decorate Harvest and spin web homes. So the patterns you see on both Harvester and Harvest are actually painted by Harvesters. Their real bodies are just purely white. Harvester will remain a bug and fairy type and keep the same ability of Compound Eyes and hidden ability Color Change. Harvester is also the reason why the Cluster Woods is known for being scattered with rainbow webbing. This line is also very sociable compared to the Bomini line. Finally, in the Cluster Woods, we will meet the Romeda Region's regional bird. But first, make sure to subscribe so you can see more Romeda Region videos in the future and pick more Pokemon for your team. For this line, I based it on the Sage Grouse because I thought its like organ pumping thing was really weird. Originally, it was gonna be based on Elvis or Marilyn Monroe for their dancing, but I scrapped that idea since I did see other Fakemon artists kinda make those concepts with their designs already. So instead, I followed the word sage and made it more royal looking, with this first stage being a baby wrapped in a silk cloth. Meet Clothes, the fabric Pokemon, with its name coming from clothes and Sage Grouse, and it also just sounds like you're saying clothes. Even when young, clothes are strictly taught by Silveros to regularly keep the feathered rag that covers them clean, which refers to that silky looking cloth around them. This Pokemon will be a pure normal type because it cannot fly yet, and will have the abilities Big Pecks and Intimidate, and the hidden ability Unnerve. This Pokemon might seem simple because it's just a little baby, but let's move on to its second stage. For the second stage, I wanted it to have a bit more attitude, and I gave it a little princely vibe, referencing traditional royal wear like the neck frills and cravats, and I gave it the swoopy hair for that pretentious look, and its feathers start to grow golden shades like gold jewelry or golden trimming. Meet Featherjay, the studious Pokemon, with its name coming from feather and protege. Featherjay often live separately from close and silver rose to heighten their focus. Skills they train often involve singing and etiquette. When close evolve to featherjay, they will gain the flying type and retain the same abilities of big pecks, intimidate, and a hidden ability, unnerve. The professor notes that this bird is more proper and has more manners than him, but they might judge you a little bit. From the dex entries of Close and Featherjay, you might be wondering, what the hell's a Silver Rose? Let's meet Silver Rose. For Close's final evolution is the one that resembles the Sage Grouse the most. It has an almost kingly vibe or noble sage vibe. This Pokemon is not a very active Pokemon, so it usually has its wings closed. So I made it so that when its wings are closed, it looks like a cape or curtain, referencing back to the silky fabric from clothes. Sage Grouse also have those long feathers, so I made it also shaped like a crown. And for the feathery poof on the front of the Sage Grouse, I made it so it keeps little gems, or in this case little berries that look like gems, hidden in the floof. Meet Silver Rose, the noble Pokemon, with its name coming from Sovereign and Sage Grouse. Despite their sharp glare and bulky build, Silver Rose are elegant and sophisticated. However, they do not care much for other Pokemon. They have a very high standard and will not settle for anything less. This Pokemon, like Featherjay, will have normal and flying type and the ability Big Pecks and Intimidate, but its hidden ability will change to Thick Cloak. As you pass through the cluster woods, you feel like you're being watched. But you make it out of the brush and you see Doki Town just a short walk away. You and Milky are ready to meet Mr. Ueba, the guardian of Doki Town. So, what did you think of our 3 new lines of Pokemon? Our regional rodent, our regional bug, and our regional bird. Will you be using any of these on your team? Make sure to comment down below. And also subscribe to see more Pokemon in the Romeda region and to see what happens next in the story. Thank you so much for the support on the first video, and I hope you enjoyed this one as well. I'll see you all in the next video. But for now, goodbye and a peace. Oh, happy day!